I think both of them could contribute in similar ways. I think that someone like Flair, not discrediting Debiase or saying that he doesn't love the business, not saying he doesn't have the passion for it, but I just think that he is pulled in different directions, especially with his ministry, especially with Ted DiBiase Jr. now being so actively involved in their ministry, that I feel like he might not be able to give of himself the way that I think Ric Flair would be willing to do. Does that make sense?
And yes, guys, that was the question. Do you think Ted DiBiase or Ric Flair would be a good mentor or manager? We did not get the first part of the audio of the beginning, actually, guys. For some reason, YouTube decided to cut it right off the bat.
Oh no! Are you serious? So no one heard us for most of it.
Nope.
Oh, great.
But the
all right. Well, in a nutshell,
can they hear me now?
Yes, everybody can hear you now. I got it situated. The announcements are that Grapple Vision Live, we will be doing all WWE pay-per-views starting with SummerSlam. We have Old School Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Stone Cold Steve Austin in August and September. And Trivia Mania, the tournament has been announced. 24 competitors and 1 Future Wrestling Podcast trophy. And yes, Jenna and James will be involved in that.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Different.
Yeah, I'm different. Yeah, I'm different.
Yeah, I'm different. I
do want to give a shout out to Rocky for letting me know that the audio was not working there because of YouTube.
Oh, thanks, Rocky.
Yep, I was going to say I just got a DM from Rocky too. Like, I love Rocky. I swear. Shout out to Rocky for always supporting all of our ventures and tweeting out links to our channels and just being in general so incredibly supportive and helpful. I know, like, I've seen him tweet out links to stuff you guys have going on. I know that he has tweeted out links to my videos, my live streams, things of that nature. And it just so you know, Rocky, like, we see you and we appreciate the bejesus out of you. You are the man for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Rocky.
Yes, and big shout out to him and Matt Tennant for all the great pictures, including Trivia Mania that was made by Rocky himself. Greatly appreciate everything he does and the fan base he brings.
Perfect 10 and is a perfect 10 as well. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, he is.
Some great folks in this little family here.
Yay,
okay.
Family.
I just asked Rocky, I said, are we good? He said, I can't get any sound from the stream.
I could. Just, is he saying that now? Can he not
yeah,
hear
like that, literally, like that message just popped up right now.
Ah, fucking hell. Let me see. Let me see if I can hear it. Because I heard it just fine a minute ago. Give me a minute.
I'm double checking myself.
I can hear it just fine. I can hear it just fine. Something's going on. Something's going on with YouTube. Because this is out of our control. I know
oh, no, I can hear it too. Yeah.
Something's going on your end with YouTube, probably.
Rocky,
but for me, it's fine. I have no idea what's going on. It's just probably the app being... It's probably your phone being ridiculous. You might have to turn it off, turn it back on, because I know sometimes that happens with my iPhone. So
that's why you should get an Android device.
Yeah, please. Yeah, tell him to just turn his phone off, turn it back on. That might be the problem. Anyway, old school. Let's do it.
Yes. The next question on the hot seat segment is: do you think Ted DiBiase should have been World Heavyweight Champion in the WWE?
Yes.
Should who? I'm sorry.
Ted DiBiase.
Should he have been? Yes. Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
I'll go first while you're texting Rocky, Jenna.
Yeah.
Because I assume that's what you're doing.
It is.
So, my thing with him, obviously, I've made an argument, I think a while ago, that he easily could have probably been, like, world champion, and definitely has that really hated heel. I easily could have seen that. I know that he got Andre the belt, but he himself never had the belt. I really think it's a shame because he was a really good wrestler. If you ever watch his matches with Randy Savage, you see how good he really is. So yeah, I easily could have seen him as a heel champion in that era. And honestly, thinking about it now, probably could have taken the slot of Sergeant Slaughter being a friggin' but no, Vince McMahon's like, oh, we have to get that Iraqi sympathizer freaking heat.
Yeah, because that went over so well, didn't it?
Yeah, well, for the record, it's totally the reason why they had to move venues is totally because Slaughter was going to almost be killed, and not because no one cared.
Right. It certainly wasn't non-existent ticket sales.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like, everyone's saying, oh, no, he was getting death threats. And I'm sure he was. I don't doubt that for a second.
I think a couple of the arenas did get bomb threats, but
that's not the reason.
In the manner that they promoted it.
And that's the way they try to spin it. They're always, like, trying to say, oh, no, we had to move the venue because, there could have been bombs and, he could have been attacked. And I'm like, you know how many freaking arenas Jim Cornette's been through when he was getting mega heat? How many people he had to fend off in small arenas? They ain't that hard, people. Just get good security. The reason why it didn't work, obviously, was because it didn't draw. So I think if they put Ted DiBiase in that slot, they would have sold out that arena no problem. If he was the champion going in and Hogan was like challenger, easy money. But,
at that point, like, Sergeant Slaughter was pretty well past his prime, and I think Bret Hart described it best in his book. Watching that match was like watching two elephants tussle over a water hole.
And by the way, and by the way, you didn't need the internet to know that, folks. Slaughter was pretty green. He looked like an amateur at his like non-prime days. It was really bad.
You could just tell that he was not. You could just tell that he was at a point where he wasn't working out like he once did. This was not the This was not the tagging with Don Kernodle days. Yeah. This was not the tagging with This was not those days. Those days were firmly behind him. But, yeah.
He wishes they were his heydays, though, as I'm sure every wrestler wishes they were his heydays. But,
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
OJ in the chat says, my 2 cents, never understood the Ted DiBiase appeal. Decent promo guy, better manager / heel, authority. Flair, what can you say about the guy? He's the all-time great. Flair took shit and made it into gold, so much emotion in everything he did. And I agree.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I just feel like DiBiase, even though he may have never been any Ric Flair, granted, but I feel like he just never got a fair shake. I feel like he should have at least had one world title. Like, I'm not even saying like anything crazy. I think one world title would have been enough to cement him,
Absolutely. Well, and maybe, like, I've never quite figured out how to explain this, but back during that era, because Hulk Hogan was so locked in, airtight to the world title scene, and he had it. Not only did he have the command over the world title, but it was almost like he had an air bubble around him, locking anyone else out of that scene for any extended period of time. Whereas now, you can look at WWE and see any number of guys who could realistically pop in and out of that world title scene. They might not be Roman or Brock, but you can realistically see them getting a title match. Whereas at this point, it seemed like even though DiBiase was gold on the mic and that character had what it took to be an evil world champion, he was written and booked as a mid-carder forever. And so because he was never allowed to look his best or look like the threat he could be, he was never perceived as such.
Yeah, people wonder why, people like the...
Vince McMahon was convinced that the title had to always be on a good guy with the heels chasing, when in actuality, a lot of times it looks better for... It's
The other way
more
around.
compelling, yes, to see the heel holding the title and see those good guys chasing, because you'll want it more.
And I know this podcast isn't about him, but I drastically feel like that can be said for guys like Roddy Piper.
Yep, easily.
Absolutely.
Because he was never world champion. And I think there's tons of guys that you could put on that list that I feel like deserve it. But in emotion, I think Ted DiBiase, I get it. He's okay. To some people, kind of like what OJ said, you know, he understood the appeal, but decent promo,
Sure.
But he was better at certain things.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, here's the thing I've noticed too, and a lot of people I think liked see, there was a cult following back in the 80s too with the NWA, and later on WCW, as opposed to the WWE, and it was for one simple reason, and I think that one simple reason is it was more realistic, and they made it, you know, a guy like Ric Flair could have been a guy like Ted DiBiase. And I think that's why people like the NWA, like back in the day, and then later on WCW. And now you're seeing that with, you know, promotions like Ring of Honor and promotions like, you know, Progress and all indies all over the world. That's why people enjoy watching. Like, even if you're gonna do the babyface has to be the champion, you do it like what you would do with Okada. I mean, hands down, Okada's probably going to go in the New Japan if they're going to ever have a Hall of Fame. He probably is already in a Wrestling Hall of Fame somewhere right now, because that guy has been booked like a fucking badass. And, you know, Ric Flair was booked like a badass, and I think there's a lot of similarities between nowadays indies and old school WCW, and I think a lot of people, and you'll hear a lot of people that treated wrestling like as if it was a sport, not just entertainment. They'll talk a lot about guys like Ric Flair being the greatest of all time and Ted DiBiase never getting a fair shake when he was in WWF.
Yeah, because, I mean, before he made the jump to work for McMahon, he was being groomed for an NWA title run, right? Like, he was already being built up in Mid-South. He was a big name in Mid-South. Like, Watts and Crockett had already pretty much set their sights on this guy as being like another name that they were going to groom and build and go with.
Absolutely.
And McMahon snatched him up because, you know, the $1 Million Man character, of course, was the gimmick he had always dreamed up for himself if he was ever a wrestler. He wanted to be rich and buy his way out of everything, and he spotted DiBiase and for some reason just decided, this is the guy I want to give that gimmick to.
And if fair fucks, he probably pulled it off better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I think had that not have happened, I mean, could you have imagined if, like, $1 Million Man was Vince McMahon in the Attitude Era? That nickname would, I mean, I think it would have gotten more of not wanting to see you get your ass kicked heat, actually. Because it would have been like, oh, this guy's so full of himself, it's ridiculous. Like, at least now that, like, by this point, when he turned heel officially, Vince, he turned heel and didn't have that moniker to the point where people would tune to the other channel. So, I think that might have gone down for the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
Imagine Vince McMahon, like, I'm going to buy my own... Imagine him trying to do the laugh. Oh, God, if he tried to do the laugh.
Agreed. I can agree with that.
It's so bad. It would be terrible. Like, because you just... Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it sounds.
Made me giggle, snort.
That's exactly how it would sound like. It'd just be Vince McMahon, like, that'd be Vince McMahon cackling at one of his freaking crappy jokes that he puts on TV that isn't funny.
A poop joke, yes.
Yeah, like, yeah, Natalia farting, and he's, like, roaring up backstage, and he's like,
she farted.
Yeah, no, yeah. That wouldn't have worked. That would have gotten so much go away heat, it would be worse than Gender. So,
God, Jinder Mahal, Lord. Do y'all ever watch?
Let's not talk about him. Let's not talk about him.
No,
right.
Sorry. I was gonna let Jenna continue what she was just saying.
Okay.
Do y'all ride along?
I'm just saying. I mean, gender. I shouldn't have even mentioned them. My bad.
I'm not gonna bash that's the thing is like Jinder himself. Like he's just doing what he's being told to do. I'm not gonna bash him. Like he's doing what he's being told and paid to do. He can't help poor booking. All he's doing is the best he can do to advance his career. I'm not gonna bash him. He's doing whatever he can to get himself over, and he's trying to grab that proverbial brass ring. I'm not mad at Jinder. The booking sucks, and they haven't built him worth a damn. That's not Jinder's fault. That's creatives.
To be honest, yeah, and you could say that with a lot of other people. Although, I'll tell you why he got the push. Another thing they probably told him to do. Hey, Jinder, do me a favor, and why don't you take this anabolic real quick?
Right? Take this needle and stick it in your butt. Not like that, but you know, that's where they take shots.
No, it's just the way you said it. Stick it in your butt.
Stick it in your butt. Well, there's one liner for this part.
That's gotta. Logan, you gotta put that in the intro, like right before your
take this needle,
the theme.
Stick it in your butt.
Take this needle, stick it up your butt, and then right to the intro.
Logan says absolutely not.
Anyway, continuing. We're not talking about gender. We're talking about good wrestlers, good legends.
The last question on the hot seat segment is: should John Cena break Ric Flair's World Heavyweight Championship record?
Nobody's gonna.
Yeah, see, people, WWE is like just flat out lies, don't they? Like, cause like,
the number of titles actually held.
He's won 22. Yeah, like he won like 3 prior to. He won 3 prior to Nature. Yeah. Sorry, fucking shit's going on. Continue.
No, I'm just. I was giving asides. Go ahead, baby. No.
Yeah. I was gonna give the side. He won like I think 3 prior as Ramblin' Rick Rhodes, and then they also forget about the other 3 that he had in other promotions. You know, I don't know why. And then they also forget about his 1 WWE title run, which would make in total 22.
Yeah.
Like, that's 22 world titles, guys. Not 16.
Dave Knows Wrestling actually did a little a video on this, like an episode on this. He did a really good job explaining this. Again, yes, huge shout out to Dave Lee at Dave Knows Wrestling. Dave knows.
I like Dave.
I love Dave. Here. We should get Dave on here. I happen to be good friends with Dave. I can shoot him a text and get that.
Shoot him a text. Be like, hey, yo, Dave, come on here. Next thing you know, we'll probably. Next thing you know, if we can get Dave, maybe we can get Wrestling with Regret and Puppet and all those guys.
I can holler at Felix Finch. I'm friends with him.
Yeah, do it.
I know everybody. Dang it! I've reached out to everybody. That's what I do. Like anyway, that's how I know y'all. Like I'm just like, hey, y'all do wrestling stuff on YouTube? Can I do wrestling stuff on YouTube with you? Like that's my game plan. Like I want to know everybody that does this kind of content because I want us all to work together.
In other words, she likes wrestling, so she kisses everyone's ass. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, you kiss our asses in a good way. It's fine. Anyway, we're talking about. We're talking about no, not like that, Logan. We're talking about Ric Flair and Debiase.
Gross, dude. Gross.
Yeah, friggin'. Obviously, no one's gonna beat it. I mean, if we're gonna go by the 16, what's stopping them now? I don't know what's stopping them now. I mean, you know, kayfabe wise is gonna break it eventually. I'm sure he's gonna win. I mean, at this point, I'd have him just win the Universal title because it would probably be up more. It would probably be on Raw more so than friggin' with Brock holding it. And it might as well call that the part-timer belt anyway. Sorry, I'm a little bitter on Raw, but yeah, can everyone hear me?
Yeah, everybody can hear you, and the next thing we're going to do is actually talk the memories and everything else that you guys want to talk about directly towards the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Okay.
And ladies first.
Okay.
Hi, Ted. You're a cool dude.
Our memories of Ted DiBiase?
Yes.
Okay, give me a minute because I really do like him a lot. Some of my earliest memories of watching wrestling were Ted DiBiase. One of my favorite early matches, one of the very first matches I can really remember it being like 8 or 9 and just truly being absolutely enthralled in was his match with Bret Hart from like Survivor Series. I think it was like 91 or 90. But it was the one right after, like, we know now that Bret's brother Dean had passed away earlier that day. And Ted was one of the only people who knew. Anyway, the match, like, you could just tell Bret was into it because it was the only thing that was taking his mind off what was going on. And it always cracks me up because DiBiase rolls him up with a quick roll up at the end to get the 1, 2, 3. And Bret sits straight up and mouths the F word really loud. You can read it clear as day, just F! Like, whoa. But it was a great match, and it was one of the first really athletic matches I had seen on a WWE pay-per-view where the guys just really, it was one of the first exhibitions of that type of wrestling. And I remember just being taken by it. And I remember him doing like the little challenges with people in the crowd, like, I'll give you $100 if you can bounce this basketball so many times, and then knocks the basketball away from the kid.
Yep.
And apparently at some point he had done a thing where a fan could come into the ring and kiss his foot for $100. That guy went on to become Rob Van Dam.
Oh yeah,
Fun fact. But yes, Ted DiBiase, I think sometimes doesn't get his just desserts for what he really did, because he truly was, like, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels get a lot of the credit for facilitating that more athletic style, and they absolutely deserve that credit. But I do think that to a very, very strong degree, Ted DiBiase was also putting on those kind of matches, and he deserves to be included in that conversation as well.
Absolutely. Especially like during the new generation, like it was him.
Absolutely.
Like I feel like they always talk about Bret, Shawn, Razor, Diesel, and like a bunch of other people, but
and God knows Razor and Diesel did not. Like the only time the Razor Ramon had those kind of matches was when he was working with Shawn.
Yeah, well, 1, 2, 3 Kid too at the time, back before the drugs. And like,
Shawn was good people. I'm a big 1, 2, 3 Kid, X-Pac, 6-Pac fan. He's
I'm not saying
doing well for himself. I'm proud of him.
I'm not saying he's not a good guy.
Oh, I know.
Before the drugs, I'm just stating a fact. But yeah, like I think DiBiase was so underrated in that category, and he was around during that time, and he's the reason why we had Austin, like kayfabe wise, brought him as the ringmaster and as like kind of $1 million champion guy. And it was pretty cool. So he's the reason for that in a way. I mean, Austin was also the reason for that, but there was Ted DiBiase, and thank you for Ted. He saw something in him. I don't know. Pretty cool. I one of the fondest memories I have of Ted was just like it was obviously the Rob Van Dam, because it involved Rob Van Dam, because I'm kind of, newsflash guys, I know I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm kind of a current fan, kinda, because I grew up in the Attitude Era into now. But watching back at a young Rob Van Dam kissing the feet of Ted DiBiase, and then obviously his how he sold the whole heartbreak of his son slapping him in the face on Raw that one time when Randy was pretty much trying to turn his proteges against their fathers, which I thought was like real good heat, and I'm shocked they didn't go anywhere with that. But he did really well. That's like some of my fondest memories of Ted.
Agreed. See, I like how we're doing this fond memories as Jim.
Yeah.
Jim. I'm thinking Jim because I'm thinking of Jim Tony there for a second.
Why were you thinking of Jim? Is it because it's the nickname for James?
Goldfish, an underrated chip.
Yeah, what is that?
Goldfish are good, but OJ's on his own thing right now. Get yourself a tuna sandwich. Place some goldfish on top of it. A good crunch. He's right, though. Anytime you eat goldfish, you got to drink like a gallon of water. Those things will make you freaking. Those will dehydrate you quicker than the sun in June.
Dude, I want goldfish now. What have you done? I need to get goldfish now.
It's all your fault, OJ.
They can't be regular goldfish either. Sometimes adding a little bit of
flavor blasted.
Yes, flavor blasted, like a pizza or something like that. Just to...
Oh my god.
My brother loves the extra pizza goldfish. Yes.
Yes.
My dad thought that flavor blasted goldfish thought it was like 2-week-old goldfish, and they just decided to put a bunch of cheese dust on it. Like that was
smart.
That was his like witty insult to it. I'm like, I don't see the problem. I don't taste the staleness.
Do they still taste good? Oh, game on.
Yeah. So I mean, if it looks edible, it's edible to eat. So welcome to America.
You guys, this is America.
Don't catch you slipping up. Look what I'm whipping
up.
Actually, speaking of Jim Tunney, I've been messaging him. He will be joining, hopefully, the Trivia Mania tournament. So look at that. And,
Trivia Mania.
And actually,
I'm ready.
There might be a secret surprise joining the tournament. So I'm gonna keep tight-lipped on that, but I just want you guys to try to guess who.
Tonka saw.
Son of a bitch.
First guess.
I have messaged him. I have asked, and hopefully he gets back to me on that. But
also, it's a maybe. But yeah, that was my first guess. I might be trying to get Tonka saw in.
Yes.
Yep.
That would be great. He did say yes when I first announced it last year. So, hopefully, things do tend to happen in the future.
Well, I mean, everything tends to happen. Otherwise, we'd be dead.
Shut up, James. Do you want to open or close the casket?
Well, good question. I might be on my way out soon, so I don't know.
Oh, shut up, James. Shut up. Shut up.
Well, I mean, hey, you never know. I mean, life can be a bitch sometimes. You get run over by a car because someone's an asshole. So you never know.
I don't want to hear anything about a car, especially me getting power bombed through a windshield on Hibiki Pro. I don't want to hear that. I just don't.
How you doing, by the way?
Oh, so you did watch the episode, you asshole.
No, I didn't. I was just trying to go along with it. You kind of just ruined it.
I don't care at this point. You should have been on top of it. You might watch it next year, so...
Hey, listen, I got my own CW leagues or bitchman. I understand your pain. I barely have time for anything else. Anyway.
But yes, also, announcement, we will be recording the next Hibiki Pro tonight, me and Travis, so look out for that in the future.
Okay.
What is going to happen to Walter, for fuck's sake?
Walter's on there now.
Yes. Damn Walter.
Also,
if Walter gets fucked up, you know that Retrocast is going to be mad.
Well, you know, Walter's the one that put Logan Myers through the windshield, so...
Well, I guess you got to get your revenge. And I'm sure Retrocast will understand.
So you got the pun in my tweet, right, Jenna?
For what?
So you did get the pun in my tweet on my new Twitter, right, for Logan Myers. I hope everybody did. Oh. But you never know what's gonna happen. Never know. Never know. You never know. But Jim Tunney will be making the announcement tonight on what's gonna happen to Walter. Look out for that. And yes, Logan Myers does have a new Twitter for Hibiki Pro, so look out for that and follow.
Okay. I'll follow.
What is it? Logan Myers, what?
It's going to be at Logan Hibiki. Or Hibiki Logan. I think it's Hibiki Logan. I already forgot.
I was about to say, Logan Hibiki pulled up nothing. So.
Hibiki Logan. Yep. So look out
for
that.
Look at you stealing
Travis. Are we going to talk about more Ric Flair?
Yes. We will be talking some Ric Flair. So what is your fond memories of Ric Flair before we shoot the shit? I like that name. We might have to make it a show.
Shoot the shit?
Yep. Have one of them shit emojis on there with the eyeballs.
Oh no, we're gonna
and a gun.
And a gun.
There's a lot of shit that's kind of happened and like since we've been gone actually that we could probably talk about. But yeah, Ric Flair.
Actually, where I tweeted out my announcement of this podcast, I used a Ric Flair quote from when he and Perfect had the alleged pictures of Ric Flair and Miss Elizabeth cheating on Macho Man.
Okay.
Like, we got a picture of her and she's all the way live. And that's actually what I tweeted out tonight. We are all the way live.
Oh, jeez.
The future.
Oh, I got the reference. Yep.
But yeah,
oh, jeez.
When someone asks you, okay, what are your best memories of Ric Flair? You could go for hours because my God, the guy's never had a dull promo. The guy's never had a bad match theoretically. His matches with Steamboat. Thank you. My little brother just was off camera.
Steamboat. Yes, absolutely. I was actually about to say that too. Steamboat.
Thank you. Yes, for some reason I blanked on Steamboat, but I always think back when World Championship Wrestling was a television show and not a promotion, and Tony Schiavone is interviewing them and he's stripping down up in the finest cashmere.
I remember that. That was good shit.
And one of the best lines ever. I've spent more money on spilt liquor. Yes. Some of his lines were just great. That's why rappers nowadays still love him. That's why the dude from Migos has a Ric Flair chain. Because there's just something to be said that's like that kind of arrogance, that kind of brash, flamboyant cockiness will always be appealing as a character. It's timeless because there's always going to be that kind of man that epitomizes the kind of man that as a woman you don't want him but you do, and guys, you don't want to like him but you kind of want to hang out with him and you hate him for it, and that is the ultimate heel.
He's fucking great. Obviously one of the best moments I remember is when he was babyface, like, because he had developed so much credibility, you can't turn him heel at this point. And he came back as pretty much the first time in WCW because, everybody went from face and heel real fucking quick anyway. But when he came back in 98 and he just scathed Eric Bischoff after reuniting the Four Horsemen, I was like, this guy still has the best promo ability to this day. And just looking back on it, like, I know it's been so many years, and I'm like, and then he would just still keep delivering great promo after great promo. One of the famous ones that I remember as, like, when I first saw it live was his shoot on Carlito backstage. Oh man, he was pissed off. Like, I think it was like a work shoot, but he genuinely did not. There was some heat or something between him and Carlito, but like, he cut a scathing promo on him, and it just felt so real. And I was like, how can you still do this at your age? It was ridiculous. Like, he could just sell you a match that you didn't think you would want to see. And I remember I wanted to see Carlito versus Ric Flair at that point on, and it was just like he had that magic all throughout his career, except for in TNA, but that's because TNA ruins everything. My other favorite moment of Ric Flair is obviously his retirement, and then to kind of backtrack his first night, like, back in the WWF when he was like, "Hey Vince, we're partners." Just so many. You can't pick one. Like, from whatever generation you were in, whether it was like, if you were whatever company you were watching, you were familiar with the name Ric Flair. You watched Ric Flair. So.
I agree with you on that. OJ said, alright, y'all, before I get out of here, morning OJ, tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Pacific Time, come get squeezed. He said, I'm going to tell a story about how I ended up doing community service after someone pooped in a school locker. Then he says, follow me
What
on
the
Twitter.
hell?
So please tune in to hear that story and more tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern Pacific Time.
OJ, you
Well,
got
that sounds
wild
riveting.
fucking stories, bro. Holy shit.
And yes, you will be hearing some other stories from me, actually. So please be prepared for that one before I go to my doctor's appointment.
Mania logo. Is that a Matt Tennant, the Trivia Mania logo? Is that some of his work?
No, that is Rocky's, actually.
Rocky, that looks outstanding. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was good shit.
The Trivia Mania is actually promoted and owned by Rocky himself. I'm actually giving him the promotion from all the work he's done, and he's actually going to be helping me put in the work on scheduling and all that with the tournament. So
yeah, good job.
Welcome
I like
to
you,
the Rocky. Definitely deserved.
Good job, Rocky.
I think Rocky is so underrated, even though he's never done a podcast. So I've always wanted to do something for him. So this is Rocky's moment to be the king of making this Trivia Mania happen. So thank you, Rocky.
Yes, good job, Rocky.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. That he goes out of his way and shows so much support and kindness to all of us. Like the last couple of live streams I've done, I've found where he's tweeted it out like, "Hey guys, the Internet's girl next door is live. Definitely click this link and hang out or watch her video."
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so incredibly kind of him. Yeah, and he does it for all of us. You know,
I need to go to him because I haven't actually met him. I need to meet him.
Rocky's awesome. Cool. Great guy. Great guy.
So I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a good idea to, just be a wise ass and be like, hey, die, Rocky, die, Rocky, die, because that wouldn't go over well.
It would go over like a poot in church.
Yes.
As in, not at all.
Yes. And anything else from you guys on $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Ric Flair before we shit the shoot?
Shit the shoot?
I always wanted to do that.
Before we shit shoot. Let's do it. Let's shoot.
I switched it around there for you guys there.
You want? I think we could close it off with this. Look up Ric Flair, watch a match or a promo. You're set.
Before we even stop, we have to mention the matches and the feuds he had with Sting. Come on.
Oh yeah. Or here's an underrated one that I feel like needs to be mentioned. His match with Cactus Jack. That never gets talked about.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Holy.
Yeah, we need to talk about like that too, like because that was that showed like Ric Flair in a hardcore element. It was ridiculous. And then they did it again in WWE and TNA, and they still like at later ages, like what the fuck is wrong with you two? Like you're beating up your bodies in hardcore elements. I think
I'm guessing, guys, we can agree on this. Mick Foley and Ric Flair were the two guys that if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out swinging. Those are two guys that you can say that quote.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I remember when... I remember seeing Ric Flair and Mick Foley at SummerSlam, and everyone was, like, shitting on it. I didn't understand why, and I still kind of don't, because I just remember when Ric Flair... in one of the matches, I think it was the SummerSlam match, where he just takes this back bump on bare back on Tax. I'm like, how old is this guy? And he's doing this shit this late in his career? What the hell? You know what I mean? And then he did it again in TNA, and I'm like, you gotta appreciate a guy who's just willing to sacrifice everything. You can't hate him. Like, you can criticize the booking, sure, but it's like, how can you hate how they built it up, you know what I mean? In fairness, they did a really good job.
I have to agree with that. I really do.
So, yeah. I think that's about all we can really say about Ric Flair. Just watch a match. Watch Ric Flair, either a promo or a match, and you're set. And you know how good he was.
This is very true.
There you go. Alright, time to shoot the shit now? We're doing that?
Yep, we can.
Time to shoot.
Any topics you guys want to talk about tonight?
So, I think one of the topics that should be discussed is the Enzo Tells All on Stone Cold.
God, that was excellent. I mean, it was a good interview.
It was one of the best interviews in wrestling in a long time. Seriously, like I've turned the corner on Enzo. I honestly, I feel fucking horrible for the guy. Like, that was just really, like, I get it. Like, he may not be a saint himself in this situation. I ain't saying that, but like,
right.
It's a legit problem in entertainment and sports in general. Just like these women trying to like screw these guys. Yeah, and make a quick buck. Like, and it gives people who actually go through rape and abuse a bad name because you don't know who's telling the truth. And
like, for example, there's a lot of actors out there that's being like thrown out there. Like for instance, the guy that hosts the talking. Chris
Hardwick. That's exactly who I was about to say. Chris Hardwick. So much so that like.
Go ahead, Jenna.
Something happened. Jenna. You're gonna continue.
It's
Jenna.
Okay.
It's probably your Wi-Fi being wonky again. God damn it. But yeah,
I'll name off a couple actors that have been thrown out there ever since the Bill Cosby situation. The guy from The Talking Dead. I don't know if anybody watches it, but I'm a big fan of The Ranch on Netflix. The guy, the Rooster on there. He was accused of raping multiple women. And I'm like, I don't know if it's true, and I'm not defending him specifically, but if it's true, that's fucked up. That's the biggest thing, the biggest no-no in anything. And this is not even wrestling.
Yeah, but how do you know? Because you do this right at the time, at the height of their career. Maybe there is a reason, like, to stick it to them. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's like a thing to stick it to them, like, at the height of their career. That's when they decide to come out with this. But, like...
The thing is, though, James, is he was accused in 2000. It's being opened up now for the same cases and all that, which they did fire him from the show, but they didn't kill him off in the show. Well, shouldn't have spoiled that, but they gave him a way to come back if need be. You know, if things tend to come off okay. Now the situation with the Talking Dead. Sorry, Jenna.
No. Don't apologize. It's frustrating as someone who has been assaulted or abused, and to sit back and watch women lie and manipulate for a quick buck. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say was, like, for the guy the Talking Dead host, and then, like I said, the guy from The Ranch who is now was accused in 2000, and the cases are being opened again. You don't know what's true. I'm not defending him. I'm not defending anyone. But there's, if it's true, then, yeah, like I said, it's fucked up. Shouldn't happen. People need to... They shouldn't do stuff like that.
The Chris Masterson thing, The Ranch, the reason why this one is being brought up again is it's not just a matter of filing charges. It's a matter of the Church of Scientology was involved, because he's a lifelong Scientologist, and that is actually a part of that one. That one's not directly just the Me Too movement so much as it is exposing the Church of Scientology. That actually came on the heels of Leah Remini's book, and talking about how the Church of Scientology suppresses the wrongdoings of their members. And apparently it's two females who had separate incidents with Chris Masterson, allegedly, in 2000 and 2001. And when they spoke up about it, they received threats from the Church of Scientology, of which they were also members. And the argument there is not just the sexual assault. It's also the Church of Scientology showing favoritism to their celebrity members who give more money than the lower members. So that one is not so much just the Me Too movement as it is kind of an offshoot of something else going on in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
I mean, you could relate that to wrestling and see what happened. I mean, in honest, like, obviously obviously he feels bad about it now, but like when Steve Austin like hit Deborah, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, it was proven that it happened, but like nothing was ever done with Austin because, you know, everyone just didn't want to make him out to be this monster, and that maybe he just was in a bad place, and that's what people were saying, honestly. And, you know, in a way it's kind of fucked, honestly.
Well, you know, like with Stone Cold, like, and you also have to look at it almost like, okay, his first wife that he has the 2 daughters with who lived in England, Jeannie, there was never anything filed. Not to say that maybe he didn't. There was never any word of it. There was only this one incident with Deborah, allegedly, and Deborah has...
Yeah, and that's another thing, too. And I think the biggest issue I think we're seeing is they might be telling the truth, but you never know because everything's so over-exaggerated sometimes with people.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the biggest issues that I see happening, especially with cases like this, that everything tends to be over-dramatized, and it doesn't help anything. If anything, it just makes the situation a lot worse. It's just absurd to me that, you know, this is the shit that kind of happens nowadays. But yeah, now it's happening with Jay Lethal, actually. That was another thing I was going to talk about. We can talk about it now. Like, it's happening with Jay Lethal now. I don't know if you've noticed that Taylor Hendricks, who was in TNA for like a fucking cup of coffee, accused Jay Lethal of like, hey, we're not going to push you unless you sleep with Jay Lethal. I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I feel like this is total bullshit? You know what I mean? Like, and then she does it like right after he wins the world title. Like right after. It just, I don't get it. I don't get it with that, but yeah. You're having trouble with internet again?
Yes, my internet is, as always, my internet just sucks butt.
Yeah, sucks butt. Well, I was talking about Jay Lethal and how it's happening with him now. Like pretty much the same issue with pretty much the same issue with Enzo Amore is happening with Jay Lethal now, and like no one. I think people are smart enough now after the Enzo thing, though. Like, no one can really take her side, especially with a guy like Jay Lethal, because, like, Jay Lethal is
never, ever had any such complaint made against him.
Yeah, like, he has no backstage heat, and all of a sudden, like, this woman who was in TNA for, like, a cup of coffee, I was just kind of pointing out, is just fucking, all of a sudden, she's like, oh, he said... The Ring of Honor officials and TNA officials wouldn't push me unless I slept with Jay Lethal. I'm like, give me a fucking break. You are off your head. You're off your head.
Well, like, and it's Taylor Hendricks. Like, you want to tell her, like, honey, you're not getting pushed because you suck in the ring. You can't get on the mic and talk. You're dumb as a stump, and you have not one iota of talent. She's probably mad that she tried to sleep her way to the top and failed. Sorry.
That's the truth. I'm sorry. Like, people need to, like, I get it. Like, I'm not saying, yes, sleep on the issue. But what I am saying is, don't make such a big issue about it. Unless you can find out shit's actually true. And by the way, this doesn't just go...
Feelings are not proof.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that goes straight to WWE and to fucking every other wrestling promotion. And if Jay Lethal gets fired on this, I'm going to lose my shit. Because after what happened to Enzo, you would think we learned by now. I'm sorry. Like, I know Enzo's no Jay Lethal, but like, this is again. I know Enzo's no Jay Lethal. You know what I mean?
Well, I hate to be the one to say I told you so, but from the jump with this Enzo thing, I have loudly and voraciously defended him. I have told people, like, this guy has a communications degree. This is such an intelligent, sharp guy. Just because y'all see him being loud and goofing off and all that, that's not who he is. I'm like, and I told people, listen to the Stone Cold podcast. He's out of character. Like, yeah, he cuts up and cracks jokes a little bit, but you hear him really speak. you hear him saying, "Oh yeah, that was da 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 da."
Yeah, it was the real Eric, not Enzo. It was Enzo playing Enzo through and through while he was in WWE. This is after WWE. It's Eric.
And yes, like, he is loud, he is flamboyant, he is out there. That is the character that he plays. But at the end of the day, you can tell, like, or I like to think I'm a fairly decent judge of character, and no, of course, I don't know any of these people personally, so I cannot say with 100% certainty this is a good person, this is a bad person. At any rate, there's always shades of gray with such things, but everything about him just struck me as being just your typical, like, down-to-earth Jersey boy. Like, not that he's not capable of it, of course, but everything that his accuser was saying, like, she was so off her rocker that I actually went through before she shut down her Twitter, and I took screenshots of everything just because nothing added up. She went to rehab, and then suddenly she wasn't in rehab, and then the next day she was back in rehab, and then she wasn't. And and then she was on meth, and she couldn't control herself and didn't know what happened. She was in, as she put it, she was in a psychosis, which makes no sense whatsoever. And then
she knew exactly what the fuck
she couldn't remember. And I'm like, first of all, sweetheart, in July, well, actually, in just a few days, I will have 11 years clean and sober. And I have experience with pharmaceuticals, not bragging, just saying. If she had been up all night doing crystal meth and uppers, she wouldn't black out. Wide awake, she'd remember every single solitary detail of everything. She would try to say she was in a psychosis and couldn't remember. And then he was wearing this, and then he said this, and then he walked into the room, and then he walked out of the room, and then he came back in the room and he said this. Like, okay, which one is it? Which one is it?
Take it from a guy who's been in an abusive relationship. You remember shit. That shit doesn't just go away because you were in some sort of state. I don't care how fucked up or smacked up you were. That shit doesn't go away. Period. So for her to say, like, I don't remember, already means she's calling fucking 3 different ways of bullshit. And it was proven in the court case. And by the way, even before the court case happened, YouTubers were already coming out about this chick.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that
we're openly saying nothing this girl. No.
This chick.
So-called friends of hers were, like, releasing screenshots of the conversation they had with her the night in question, where she actually said, I-F-U-C-K Enzo, or a wrestler. I-F-U-C-K, a wrestler, and then immediately sent another text correcting it, F-U-C-K-E-D, asterisk, correcting herself, making sure that it was clear that she was bragging that she had slept with a wrestler. And now all of a sudden it's, he raped me. No, ma'am.
Yeah, he raped
No, ma'am.
No, you
I
willingly.
had sex with Trish.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened was you were like, oh, I want a piece of that hot salami, so you wrote it. That's what happened here. There's no question about it.
Only James would call it hot salami.
Well, he's Italian. It
makes sense.
Hot the salami.
She wanted his baloney pony.
That's gross.
Can I please quote this stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
Baloney pony, how you doing?
Just Enzo probably listening to this, like, I'm gonna use this as part of my material. I'm like, I'll go for it.
Grabbing my consensual baloney pony. Yes.
Oh my god. I will say
he was probably hang on. He was probably in character while he quotation marks fucked her.
Oh my god, I guarantee you he was, and I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
I'm the cruiserweight champion.
I guarantee you. And she probably thought he was real. I guarantee you she's probably one of these freaking drugged up addicts that thinks WWE's real. It's still real to me, damn it. Guarantee it.
I just threw up again.
Oh god, y'all don't get Jenna's dirty old lady mind going, because now I'm picturing him wearing nothing but the cruiserweight belt. Like,
she's probably thinking.
How you doing?
She's probably all alone now, like in a mental ward somewhere, and she thinks about his hot salami. She's like, it's still real to me, damn it.
She's not all alone in a mental ward somewhere. I guarantee you, right now as we speak, she's probably either in some little flop house, cracked out of her skull with some numbnuts wannabe drug dealer thug with a fake gold grill,
or she's with Heidenreich like Michael Cole. Bam!
Oh no. Oh no. No.
There's a mental image that I never ever wanted.
I never wanted to remember that. Why did you have to remind me of that, Logan? God damn it. I hate you. I never wanted to remember.
Okay, the Heidenreich thing, Michael Cole, like, everyone called it a rape. You know, when I first saw that, I just thought he was, like, and I'm not sweet and innocent by any stretch of the imagination, but my mind didn't go to rape. My mind just went to, holy crap, he's just forcing Michael Cole to listen to his bad poetry. And then everybody else was like, oh my god, he raped Michael Cole, how effed up is that? I'm like, is that what happened? I just thought it was...
If you look back on it, Jenna, come on.
If he was raping her,
if
he was raping her, he would have his arm out, you know. I didn't right, you know.
No, but look.
Oh
like,
no, I figured he'd at least kiss on his neck or something.
Can you look at where he was, look at his facial expressions, and look at how he had Michael Cole positioned.
Oh jeez, shut up.
Just come on.
Breaking down way too hard.
The reason why it looked like... I'm just saying, that's the reason why it looked the way it did. And that's what ultimately killed Heidenreich off.
Well, this is going to kill the podcast, too, so...
I think his lack of in-ring ability probably didn't help.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean,
and that
I just want to know who the hell signed up on it.
The Road Warriors, that was awkward. Popeye the Sailor Man walk he did, that was weird.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
And
you know what I'm talking about? Just doing the Road Warrior thing, like he just swung his arm out. Like,
I remember. Trust me, I was a kid when I saw that. I'm like, what the hell is Heidenreich part of the fucking
kid?
I was a kid when I watched it. I'm like, why is Heidenreich teaming with Animal? It's stupid. I was a kid when I first saw that, and I thought it was stupid.
I was an adult. Jesus, I'm old.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Thank you.
I feel you're not that old. I've seen older.
Not that old. Qualifiers. I hear you.
I'm kidding. You're actually
James, shut up.
No. You shut up.
Jenna looks like she's in her 20s. Come on now.
God, you love me.
I was just about to say that. Anyway, UK title tournament too.
You can say that. We were gonna talk about that, but in other words, let's just not talk about One Night in China, please.
Oh God, that's fine.
One Night in China? Why not? Why can't we talk about it?
I'd rather talk about She-Hulk. One Night in China was horrendous.
Sexy than a muff. No, sorry.
Hey,
that's what I think of every time she walks out in that lingerie, and Sean Waltman is like, sexier than a muff. Like, wow, dude, really? Do you mean that? Do you mean that with all that you are? Yeah. Does that really get you boned up?
Well,
I mean, honestly, if you're desperate enough, anything can get you boned up.
Yeah, but X-Pac has pulled some really good-looking poonaner. I mean, he had that Ryan Shamrock chick.
Did James just say that?
What?
I'm done. I'm letting you guys host. I'm done.
Hold on. I just pointing out the obvious, and you can't deny it either, Logan. I don't want to hear it.
Well, what?
It's what I said earlier. Like, if you're desperate enough, you'll think anything is attractive.
Oh, well, that's true.
Shady C.
Oh, give me a break. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Well, that rings for him true as day. But I mean, you know.
Oh, I'm done.
Hi, Shady. How you doing? Hope your subs are not growing. Anyway.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Hashtag anybody that gets with Colin.
Oh, Shady C. Oh, well, y'all leave Colin alone. He's adorable.
No, not Shady C's not
No, good. Shady C is not Colin. Colin's a saint compared to Shady C.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I like Colin. I think he's adorable.
And actually, speaking of Colin, I do want to say, guys, prayers go out to his dad and everything. Speedy recovery. But everything is getting better for him. It is. I know it's a long road, but let's just keep praying.
I'm so out of the loop. I hope whatever's going on with your dad, it gets better, dude. As someone who's taking care of her dad, it's hard.
I hope he doesn't get mad at me for mentioning that, but I just wanted to say, bro, anytime you need to talk to me, you got my own messenger on Facebook. Please message me anytime. I got you.
Same here.
Because
I'm a nocturnal creature, Colin. You can message me anytime. I'll always be here for you, too. I know how it is, baby.
I've been there, and I've done that with Dad. And walking into that room, well, it's not the same situation, but, you know, when my dad passed away and I had to walk into that room, that was not the day, you know, you want to walk into that room, you know. And beforehand, your aunt telling you, you know, he died thinking you didn't love him, but yeah, hey, we're here.
Yeah, hey, one last thing I want to say about this whole Enzo thing, because I want to kind of relate it to the Jay Lethal thing. One more thing. Ring of Honor, be smart. If you try to fire Jay Lethal over this, I'm going to be pissed. And I will not support you after that. I
feel like Ring of Honor, like the people who run it, they don't have the weight on their back that WWE does. And I would hope that they have the ability to take time and be reasonable about it and handle it ethically, but handle it responsibly.
Here's what I have to say about the whole weight of WWE. Okay.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna
because
be here
no. Here's the fucking deal. If you're, I'm serious. If you're gonna, I have the weight. We have the weight of sponsorships. Cut the fucking sponsorships if that's what's going on. Because at that point, they're just weighing down your product. And am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I fucking wrong?
They have to get money from somewhere, and they're clearly not committed to putting out a great product. So they've got to get the money where they can.
So it's sponsorships. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the same sponsorships that they were getting in the Attitude Era, right? Same sponsorships that they were still getting in the Ruthless Aggression Era when they were halfway trying, right? Give me a break. Bullshit. Any sponsorships that like aren't gonna like go by justice until innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, like get the fuck out. I period. It's the same thing with the whole like Shane Helms like giving me shit for saying my piece only on a larger scale. Like if I'm running a multi-million-dollar company and they're gonna try to take my freedom of right, I don't need to associate myself or my company with you. Period. I don't care how left you are. I don't care how right you are. Respect my freedom, and respect my employees' freedom as well, and respect my employee to go about this the right way, and don't just say guilty until proven innocent, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not how it fucking works. It's never how it's been worked. It's never how it's fucking worked, assholes. Rant over.
Freedom isn't free. It costs folks like you and me.
Yeah, alright.
Sorry, if anyone's seen Team America.
I've heard of it. I've seen Team America. Team America! Anyway, Logan, you want to talk about UK? About UK.
Well, before we go into UK, I do want to make an announcement about the WWE news that we have involved with a couple signees that WWE is going to push for in the future. Apparently, WWE wants to get Cody Rhodes back.
Don't do it.
Of course they do.
But that's next year when his New Japan contract goes up. They are going to offer him, the Young Bucks, and who is it?
Omega.
Yep, Omega. Big contract.
And I bet they get
Omega's not going. Omega, Cody might go. I don't see it though. Omega and the Young Bucks are definitely not going. Period. Period.
The Young Bucks have literally pretty much built, like, one of the cornerstones of their existence is proving that you can be a superstar and never touch a WWE ring.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, they are already set for life. They're on CM Punk levels of money at this point. And by the way, you know what else helps that? That sweet Capcom Street Fighter check that they just got via Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. Not to mention the sponsors that they have in Japan up the ass, because you know you're allowed to actually have sponsors in Japan, unlike if you work for WWE in America. Like, give me a break.
And I mean, Cody Rhodes, I don't ever see I don't see Cody going back to WWE anytime soon. Why would he trade in a schedule that he pretty much dictates for money that he pretty much dictates to go back and work 200 plus days a year to, you know how WWE is, they'll bring him back and they'll make him Stardust. Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll bring him back and they'll let him be Cody for like a month. They'll be like, so we're just going to go ahead and put you with your brother and R-Truth, and you're going to be you're just going to be R-Dust this time, okay? Yeah.
R-Dust squared.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, that's how creative everybody is now. I swear a fucking kindergartner could come up with better shit than the creative team.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, right, so about these signings, or supposed future signings, this is all a part of a fucking plan, because Vince McMahon is trying so hard not to have competition because he wants to fund his stupid fucking fantasy football project. Okay? He has already tried to make sure that Ring of Honor doesn't go to Madison Square Garden. That alone is already fucked up in a way. Then you're going to try to sign 3 or maybe 4 of the biggest stars away. This just screams.
I mean, hell, that's what they've been doing, though. If you think about it, they've been signing away. Like, look at, you know, that's how they got Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Like that, they took Jon Moxley, they took Tyler Black, they took Kevin Steen. You know, they took Pac. They took all the indie stars that worked their butts off, and now they're all in WWE, and they're just trying to sweep through and do it again.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous because, right, name every one of those people you just made one by one. I'm gonna talk about where they are right now. So who was the first guy you mentioned in that list?
Jon Moxley.
Yeah, Jon Moxley. If he's not with the Shield, he's not important. Because, yeah, that's exactly how they made him. Period. Like, you know, but he's won a WWE title. Doesn't mean shit. His title run was so mediocre, it was ridiculous, and that all has everything to do with WWE. It started off hot, it ended bad.
I was gonna say the pop when he won was massive. The crowd wanted it.
Yeah, the crowd wanted it. That's fair enough. They booked him like a mid-card champion, period.
And then they put him on the Stone Cold podcast expecting him to just magically open up when he's openly admitted that he doesn't like to talk about his childhood. He doesn't like to talk about things like that. And Stone Cold just pressed and pushed and needled and dug. Yeah, and you could just tell with every question that he got more and more uncomfortable. And when you make someone like that more and more uncomfortable, they don't get rude, they get quiet. And they're not going to talk to you.
Or not even just that, like the fact that he's like saying that he should, you know, try to push the envelope. Do you know what the WWE is like nowadays?
Right.
This is where we were heading. This is where we were heading after the Daniel Bryan, you know, accidental title win. This is exactly what was going to happen because they don't want the fans to have a fucking voice. Period. That's how the mindset.
That's why they literally turn it down
every time. So. Yeah, Dean Ambrose, oh, you got your 15 minutes of fame, and then it go right down the fucking tubes, and his title run was shit. And then you could say the same thing. What's the next one? Kevin Owens. What's he doing right now? He's getting blue shit poured on him. I kid you not. I was watching a YouTube video, and I haven't watched Raw in forever, but I heard about what happened, and it showed him getting blue shit poured onto him, and the WWE Twitter, the official WWE Twitter, is like using all these shocked emoji faces that Kevin Owens, a prize fighter turned coward, got blue shit poured on him. Whether it was Smurfs jizz or blue paint, I don't know. Maybe Blue Man Group's jizz, or I don't fucking know. And they were like, "Braun Strowman, what have you done?" And I see this one tweet, this one golden nugget, and it just says, "Fuck this company." That's where Kevin Owens is now. That's where Kevin Owens is right now. That's where, and then you look at a guy like Pac, aka Neville, he's literally being held out to not go to All In. That's the only reason they kept him on contract for so long. That's the only reason they've even kept him while not working a single day. That's the only reason. They want to make sure he doesn't go to All In. So they're going to do anything they can to make sure that doesn't happen. Because the more people that go to All In, the better it is for Ring of Honor, New Japan, and everybody that was running All In. And indie wrestling as a whole. That's the reason why they're trying to stop this dead in its tracks. Everything they're doing is calculated to try and stop it. And it's fucking infuriating. It's illegal. It's just, period. I don't care how you want to fucking spin this. It's downright illegal. They are trying to monopolize the business. Period.
They've been trying to monopolize the business since they bought WCW. Actually, since like 1985.
And it's not even U.S. anymore. They're trying to monopolize it worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck off. Let other companies thrive. Period.
Yeah.
I was actually on a legit radio station and I talked about this. I even called the guy out on it. I even called the guy out on it on air. And I said, like, I was very respectful when I said it to him, obviously, but I said, I think that WWE is trying to stop them from doing this because I feel like that there's more passion in the indies and there's more of a cult following in the indies than there is in WWE right now, and the numbers are showing that. And the people going there are showing that. The people making as much money as they possibly can are showing that. You know, and they're working better at their craft every day for a reason. And now even Impact Wrestling's back on the rise again, which I never thought would fucking happen. Now there's like a working relationship between all three of them. And WWE's scared of that. They're fucking frightened of that.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be. The best WWE ever has been is when they had competition.
Yep. And this is why I hate like WWE. They'll do so much to try and stop competition, please their sponsors, and basically just push one guy instead of pushing the overall product and pushing the guys that you have within that product to make it fucking better. It's maddening. Look at the stuff that's going on in developmental, which is basically indie-rific right now. That is way better than anything main roster right now. The UK tournament, NXT UK, even 205.
Yeah,
way better
absolutely.
than Raw and SmackDown. It's not even close. And that's the minor leagues. How is that the minor leagues in WWE? It makes no sense to me. If anything, NXT and all this other shit should be the major leagues, and Raw and SmackDown should be the minor at this point. Because it doesn't feel like they're trying their best. And everybody can tell you that. The Miz was like trying to like pass this off as, well, you know, there's a gray area. There are no heels and faces anymore. And I love the interviewer on Gorilla Position. He just fucking laid into him and didn't take that shit. He's like, dude, I've seen you cut a promo and I've seen Roman Reigns cut a promo. There's a difference between scripted and, you know, shooting shit just by those two comparisons alone. And then the Miz being, you know, because everybody has to be this way. He's like, no, his exact quote was, and it sounded like a child said this, like, and I'm actually kind of ticked off at the Miz. He's like, oh, you think you know everything that goes on backstage, but you don't. You think you know, but you don't. No, you think you know, but you don't. Kept cutting the guy off because the guy actually had a point. And he was actually complimented the guy, too, and made a point with that, but he can't, you know, acknowledge that, because if he acknowledged that, he'd get backstage heat and everything would be gone.
Well, yeah, I mean, Miz has finally gotten himself to a point where, you know, he's got the Miz and Mrs. show. He has really established himself as a tippy-top guy there, and I don't blame him. Toe the company line, make your money, save up, because he's smart. He's not going to blow it.
No, I get it.
Build a life for him and Maurice. I get it.
I get it. I'm just saying that, you know, he's only going to go so far if he toes the company line. And I guarantee you it's not going to be a main event championship match between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. It's not happening. Everyone's like getting their eggs in a basket about this too, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen." No, it's not. Guarantee you, it's not. It will. First off, as long as guys like Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and a bunch of other part-timers are running roughshod around there ain't no way in hell two full-time performers like Daniel Bryan and The Miz are main eventing WrestleMania 34 for the title. There's no way in hell it's happening. I wish it would happen. If it happened at Wrestle Kingdom, it would definitely happen because there's a lot of history there and they know how to book that shit. But it will never happen in WrestleMania, period. Even though it's like the best told story in the last decade. They're not going to do it. There's no way in hell they're going to do it. Even though they should, because it make them a shit ton of money, hardcore-wise anyway. Maybe even more than just hardcore. Like, even casuals know about the history between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. Been going on since 2010. So, like, you know, this is where I say it. The fans don't matter because they got their $1 billion check. They don't give a fuck.
All right.
But anyway, UK. I'd rather talk about you today.
Well,
Can we talk about UK?
I do want to say something. There has been a leak for the next Hall of Fame, for the Ultimate Warrior Award recipient. It has been announced, well, not really announced by WWE, but the big rumor going around is Matt Capitelli will be getting it for the battle of brain cancer twice, and they want to bring awareness to the cause.
Who had the Warrior Award last year?
Yes.
Who had the Warrior Award last year?
It was the JJ.
Oh, it was JJ. I can't be mad about that then. It's just honestly it probably should have been him that year, Matt Capitelli. But I understand why they did it. Because it was New Orleans, I guess. Here's the thing. Speaking of Hall of Fame, and this needs to be said. I think I don't even think we've talked about this on the show either. The whole Vader passing. I don't know if we have or not.
Go ahead.
Huh?
The Vader passing? Has anyone talked about that on the show?
No.
I covered it on my channel a little bit. I felt bad for Vader simply because a couple of months ago when he announced that he was sick and he didn't have much time left, people actually accused him of lying to get sympathy and lying for attention, and I found that to be just absolutely repulsive. And it really made me mad. And now that he's passed, there's so many people like, oh, one of the greatest big men ever. I'm like, yeah, you were literally openly mocking him 6 weeks ago. And I guess some of the hypocrisy around his death really made me mad. But be that as it may, he was an amazing guy, and he deserved all of the accolades that he got in his career. And he deserved so much better than what WWE did to him.
Yep. Another thing I want to say, because I agree with everything you pretty much just said. The one thing I think that needs to be said, and Jericho can kiss my ass if he still believes in this. I hope he's seen the error of his ways now when he said it. If you think that the WWE Hall of Fame is a legit Hall of Fame, why the fuck is Hillbilly Jim over Vader? Period. There is absolutely no excuse why he couldn't go into the Hall of Fame this year. I think it's indicative to how WWE, or mainly the people in charge of WWE, some of the people just don't care. And it's fucking repulsive. Like, there's no reason he shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame this year. He easily could have done it while he was alive. Now they're probably going to induct him while he's fucking passed. That's like... Yeah,
they'll do a posthumous induction and pat themselves on the back for it, like they done.
Yeah, and how well did that work out for the fucking Macho Man? Yeah, it got you bad press, didn't it? You're so worried about bad press, but you can't freaking... Don't want to worry about fucking, you know, people before they die. It makes no fucking sense. It's just infuriating. Okay. UK, before I blow a gasket.
Yes.
I already have.
Let's
I've probably already blown a gasket. I'm very anti WWE main roster, aren't I?
I can tell.
Yep, everybody can tell here.
Well, I mean, it's not that it was a secret before, but I mean, in case you guys have been out of the loop, here I am, letting you know.
Yeah. Well, in other words, guys, you know, with the whole situation with we've been talking about, let's get into some of the good old UK tournament and everything, because I didn't actually get to watch it. So
Oh, dude, you're missing out.
I didn't get to watch it, so.
Has any of you guys? You guys haven't watched it? Are you serious? Dude, that was.
I don't have the network right now.
Dude, that was almost. Oh, I don't blame you. Probably don't want to give them your money.
I won't have the network here.
It's not that. The last couple of weeks have been pretty hellacious. Like, I was supposed to get paid for a wedding I did the makeup for, and the lady wrote me the check, and it bounced. And when I went to rectify it, I found out that she had also bounced checks to the florist, the DJ, and the photographer. And so I was literally just one vendor in line amongst all of the people who put on her wedding. So I literally had to go almost 3 full weeks without getting paid because that check was supposed to cover everything. And then my car insurance got taken out, you know, my share of the house insurance, the rent.
Man.
Yeah, well, everything.
And
I was flat. I am because the size of the check, it's actually the size of the check, it's big enough that it's bigger than small claims court. So
Jesus fuck. Wow.
Someone done fucked up. In other words.
Yes.
Jenna,
dude,
when I realized that she had shortchanged the other vendors, I took it upon myself to call the florist and call the DJ didn't want to do it, but the photographer and the florist, I said, if we band the total so big that the court will bump us ahead. It will be such a significant amount of money that the court will, and that's how it pretty much works in Mobile. It shouldn't work that way. But like, say I owed you $200 and you took me to court, we wouldn't go to court for another 1.5 years. But because of the amount of this check and the number of zeros in the total, we'll go before a judge in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah, well, get it done. Get it done.
Yeah, because you deserve that money. Jenna, if you know anybody that's looking for somebody to do their wedding sets, like the flowers and all that, my mom actually does silk wedding flowers and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I actually, I will actually bear that in mind because I have an entire makeup kit set up for people who want to do like vegan, and like a lot of people don't want to kill fresh flowers; they just want to do silk flowers for their arrangements and things, and because
memories
of allergies and what. So yeah, I've run into a lot of brides who like
All right.
I did a wedding for a bride like a month ago who, after, because she and her husband were military, they were both Air Force. After the wedding, they actually went and took all of the silk flowers to like the military cemetery and put it on all the graves. I thought that was really classy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them do that kind of stuff. And
shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Paul Brewer. You guys are amazing.
Good shit. Good shit.
Awesome.
Real quick, so before we get off track, because that's pretty much everything we've been doing is going.
That's what I do. I'm the world's worst about steering us off track.
Well, we're shooting the shit tonight. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
You guys, shit shoot show.
Yes. Yeah. You guys eventually need to check out that UK.
I will
check out that UK because it's so good. I need to.
Once I get my WWE network back, I'm all over it.
Dude, it's so good. It was one of the best tournaments in a while, dude. Hey, what's up, Trav? But yeah, dude, the UK tournament is amazing.
Travis in the chat.
What was it? Yeah, Travis.
Travis is in the chat. I will see you. I will see you soon, sir. I will see you soon.
We all record.
Well, what time did you have to go, Logan?
No, whenever Travis gets home, he can join us if he wants, or We can end it. It's fine. We have plenty of time.
Oh, good. But yeah, it's, the UK tournament. One of the guys definitely to watch out when you. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. Obviously, you probably already know who won anyway. But definitely check out the one man you want to keep an eye on is Zach Gibson. He's the biggest heel in this whole tournament. The 6-man tag between British Strong Style and the Undisputed Era was fucking phenomenal. It may go down as maybe one of the best 6-man matches that WWE's had in decades. That's how good that match was. And generally speaking, like night 2 was unreal. Like night 1 was like surpassed night 2, but night 2 was also really cool. Noam Dar returned and was in a UK number 1 contenders match tournament and won. And that's the only thing I'll spoil for you. But still check out the match because it was between him, Travis Banks, who's really good, Flash Morgan Webster, who's really good, and Mark Andrews, who's, I'm going to say it again, really good. So yeah, you guys should check that out. It's good shit.
We'll definitely do. Noam Dar actually made his return. Noam Dar actually made his return at 205 Live. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Jenna.
No, you're fine, darling. You're great. This is your show.
Yeah, it is your show.
You do whatever you want, darling. You do whatever you want.
Yeah. Also, the Coffee Brothers are in NXT UK. I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you guys know Joe Coffey, but he also has a brother named Mark Coffey.
He's amazing.
Yeah, Joe Coffey has a brother named Mark Coffey, who's also a wrestler. They're a part of the tag division down there, and they're heels.
That's awesome. So. That's cool.
So they're good. So they made an appearance. Obviously you probably already know about it because it was spoiled pretty much everywhere. The new NXT Tag Team Champions are Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate and Trent Severin. It's great. Love them. Pretty cool shit. A lot of people are into them too. Like that whole act is really good. The whole British Strong Style act. Pete Dunne had a freaking star-making performance all around between the 2 nights. So just it's pretty much the highlights that I wanted to talk about. Just watch the whole tournament because you'll see some great surprises.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. And then well,
that was a good wrap up. Actually, that was like a really good overview. That was very well done, sir.
Thank you. I figured because I don't know if you remember, Logan, but I had speaking of tournaments, I had like a custom tournament I did. Travis knows what I'm talking about. Do you guys know how to did the Cruiserweight Classic?
Yeah.
So I decided, well, what if they decided to start giving fans what they want more on a regular basis, which will never happen. But let's say if they did, and they decided to do a Cruiserweight Classic number 2. So I went like fucking nuts with this. I had instead of 32 competitors, I had 64 competitors, and winner faces Cedric Alexander. And so yeah, basically it's a 65-man tournament, adding Cedric in there. And I have all 5 brands involved, so Raw, SmackDown, 205, NXT, NXT UK. And then I had free agents, which is like in total was 16, which is not so far off if you look at the old Cruiserweight Classic. The first one had like I think 8 free agents, so somewhere around there. And like some of them were like didn't have a name before they showed up there. And then I have like 23 nations involved. So I went full on with this. I'm like, if I'm gonna go Cruiserweight Classic, I'm gonna go Cruiserweight Classic. And I'll send it to you eventually, but I'll just read some of the matches I have that are like I went kind of nuts, but like realistically nuts. I put Taka Michinoku in. If you guys know, do you guys remember Taka?
Oh yeah.
Taka Michinoku, even indeed. He's good shit. I have pretty much everybody from the original Cruiserweight Classic almost, and everybody that's 205 or could be 205 by the time of the tournament, like in the UK tournaments that have collectively happened. I have Ricochet in here and Will Ospreay as like a one-off for the turn. Will Ospreay is like one of those free agents, like one-off for the tournament only kind of deal, like Kota Ibushi had. And Kota's also in here. Like, I just have, like, a shit ton of names. I got Aleister Black in here, too, and I got Rey Mysterio, Tiger Mask, Jushin Thunder Liger, like, pretty much just a who's who of free agents. And I just kind of went nuts with it. So, I mean, I feel like if I were to go through... I'm thinking about it now, though. I feel like if I went through every single first-round match, we'd be here for a while. Because there's, like, 32 matches in the first round.
Wow.
I went fucking crazy, dude. And then I said to Travis, like, hey, if you want to use it for Hibiki Pro, go for it. That's just literally what I said. Is like, you want to do the 64-man tournament and take it on? Just go for it. I don't care. But he said no. Maybe an 8-man tournament, but I don't think I could do 64 like you just did. And I'm like, I'll have to try. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. But yeah, I'll send it to you guys if you're interested in checking it out.
Yeah, actually, I'm wondering about your next episode of the show that you do, like Hibiki Pro.
Oh, Weymouth Youth.
Yeah,
so
when's the next one for that?
So since I'm on here, little announcement. Jenna Lee has officially joined the tournament. So,
damn, I can't even get on commentary.
Well, all right. So here's what happened.
I'm just gonna get beat up.
So you don't like fret, Logan. Like I'm like ignoring you. Again, there's still a whole bunch of issues with that, and I'll get to you on that a later time. But the reason why Jenna had to even be in the tournament in the first place was because I'm kind of breaking kayfabe now because we gave a different reason on the podcast. But basically, there was a girl named Rachel that was going to be a part of the tournament, but that person was off her head. So I'm like, I don't need this. She's not, and by the way, you know that chick, that Fran Denzo that we were talking about earlier? Yeah, that kind of off her head, except without the drugs. So I don't need that. So Jenna, who's not off her head, gonna be in the tournament.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that Jenna's joining.
Yeah, she'll be in the roster.
I'm infiltrating every aspect of you guys.
There you go.
You're not going to be able to escape me sooner or later.
Yeah, they're gonna. Well, I don't think people are gonna want to escape you too. They're gonna be like, oh, there's a women's wrestling fan. I gotta check this woman out now.
I hope so.
You never know. Maybe the Logan Myers might join. You never know.
Yes.
He's always signing.
We gotta pull him back out of that windshield first.
Oh hell yeah, we do.
Well, I mean, I thought. Wait, Logan, you're a trooper, man. You're doing this podcast from a windshield.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man!
Logan
Good
Myers
job.
is currently.
I've just been running in bottles of water. He's in the windshield, but it's cool.
Jesus, Logan,
He's been working his tan out. He's tan though. He's so bronze.
Is he really? That's good shit, Logan. Good shit.
Well, I mean, like the front of his body, like that's facing, like the back of him that's like stuck in the windshield is probably pretty fair skinned, but the front of him is like super bronze. Yeah.
Well, good job. Now, once you get him out of there, you just have him go on a suntan day. You know, he'll get the rest of the body.
We just got to flip him over. Yeah, no big deal.
I know. Apparently, Logan Myers is still in critical condition at the hospital. We will.
Oh, you're doing this? Wait, I'm confused. Are you in the car, or are you in the car at the hospital? Are you in the car in the
We took the whole car to the hospital. We took the whole car to the hospital.
Took the whole car to the hospital. Oh.
Yeah, like it won't fit in the hospital room, so he's just in the parking lot. But the nurses are like going down and taking care of him.
I see. Well.
Oh, he's fine. He'll be fine.
We wish Logan Myers a speedy recovery, and thank you for in your critical condition for hosting this podcast, sir.
Godspeed, good sir. Godspeed.
Vicky Pro is I think, one of the most underrated there is out there for
yes, indeed,
shows, including James's channel and everything he does with his show.
Yeah.
He's a monster editor. I can't believe it. But Travis is starting to really shine with the editing and everything.
I've noticed, man. I've noticed. Travis, if you're listening to this, you're doing some great shit, dude.
Dude, Travis is criminally underfollowed. He's one of the most talented people just all around, like editing, voiceover, his personality. He's hilarious. Like, we've got some stuff in the pipeline that he and I are working on. Like, I am so excited to work with him because he's one of those people who's just so incredibly talented that when you talk to him, you get motivated to create. Like, he's amazing.
Honestly, he's one of the reasons why I even started Weymouth Youth Wrestling back up in the first place. So, if you didn't know, now he knows. So,
yes, and that's why I started this podcast, Future Wrestling Podcast. He said, Logan, you have the talent to do this. You need to jump at it now. And that's why I did it. So thank you, Travis, for everything. I even did it in a tweet.
We love you, Travis.
I even did it in a tweet. I was like, dude, you are the motivation that keeps me going. And
dude, we're a bunch of marks. Listen to us right now. We're just marking ourselves up.
We're the Hibiki fan club.
Dude, we gotta
literally, like, right in front of me right now, I have a binder that is all of the first arc of a show called Sunset Stripped that Travis and I will be working on. It's the history of glam metal and the Sunset Strip in LA.
Yes.
Wow.
It's gonna be great.
Yes.
I can't wait. I've been bullet pointing and I'm working out like the first 4 episode arc of it. That is coming in the next week or so. That'll be starting up. So y'all definitely be listening out for that.
Oh yeah. Dude, we gotta start a Hall of Fame. It'll be more legitimate than WWE too. No, I'm kidding.
We'll put Vader in first.
Yeah, we'll put Vader in first, and then like Tonka, you gotta put all of us in. Like, I'll go last. I don't care. It's fine. I don't think I'm gonna die anytime soon. At least I hope.
Don't. Oh God.
Don't talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm.
I can handle that.
I don't know.
Hey.
Something could happen. You never know. But I'm okay right now. It's fine. It's fine. I don't see no ominous cloud trying to be like, hey yo, what it do?
No, jeez. Well,
Dude,
Hey, yo, what it do?
Dude, I thought, no, legit, little story before we wrap up. I thought I was going to die on the 3rd, right? Because on the 3rd, I was, long story short, ran into my ex. That wasn't fun. But while I was walking away to the other beach.
Oh, that crazy bitch.
Yeah, that person. We don't talk about that person. But yeah, that person. I was walking away to the other beach, and all of a sudden, like, this ominous lightning storm was, like, right next to us. Lightning was striking the water, and like, it was close. Like, it was in close proximity to all of us, so it was, like, all freaking out. I'm getting called from my friend, like, oh, we gotta go. And in the meantime, I'm like, we kind of can't go now. It's already here. And I'm just thinking, oh, my God, I'm going to die. There's going to be a lightning bolt on me. I'm just doing Hail Marys, like, hoping the storm passes us. It was so bad. I was a wreck. And then once it finally passed, I'm like, oh, well, I guess God likes me after all. Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Wasn't my time to go. Thought it was, though. It was weird. This is like, this is not the proper time to have a fucking thunderstorm trying to watch fireworks or waiting for the fireworks to happen. So, yeah. Moral of the story, make sure you check the weather before you go out for fireworks on the 4th gates.
Dun dun dun.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe!
Body massage.
That's funny.
Have y'all seen the Fensler film? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
I think
the Fensler film, G.I. Joe sings body massage. Who wants a body massage?
Yeah, I've seen it.
G.I. Joe. Yeah. Pork chop sandwiches. Yeah.
I can tell you, it probably sounds weird out of context. Hey, you want a body massage? Yeah.
The things that I say sound weird out of context. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, G.I. Joe, like, wanting to give kids body massages sounds weird enough. I mean...
Well, things happen.
Things happen.
The podcast of random quotes. I did the stick it in your butt earlier, and then the things happen.
Things happen.
Things
Well,
happen.
And things happening is
Speaking of
half
things
the
in the
battle.
butt.
And things in the butt is half the battle. You know.
I gotta make you guys laugh. Great show. Great show. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I feel like we handled our business today.
Pretty much. I mean, don't
do drugs.
Don't
Another
do
quote.
drugs. Eat, sleep, drink your teeth, repeat. What?
What?
I don't know where that went.
It's random.
In other news, James is on crack. And he's actually...
No, it's not that I'm on crack. In other news, James is autistic, which is just the shock of no one now.
Yeah, you just told him.
Well, now, I mean, but I think before they kind of could figure it out. And figuring it out is half the battle.
Half the battle.
G.I. Joe! Done.
Well, anything else you guys want to mention? If we're gonna wrap it up, we can keep it going until Travis shows up.
Talk about Thomas the Tank Engine and when is his WCW title coming?
Well, speaking of the whole Enzo Amore stuff, what about the Michael Elgin stuff?
What's up with that?
I am not aware, or I don't have enough information on what's going on with Michael Elgin to speak on it. I'm not real sure what's going on with him.
Yeah,
I just know that he is in a situation. I do not know the story.
Actually, yeah, that makes me a little happy though, because they didn't, like, New Japan and Ring of Honor didn't, like, straight up fire him, so I kind of appreciate that.
I respect that. Yes.
So maybe Jay Lethal will be all right.
Yeah, probably at this point, yeah, because like if they like what Elgin got accused of was way worse. That much I do know. So like if he's kept around until like the court case is settled, then so is Jay Lethal. You know what I mean?
Yep, agreed on that one. But I don't know. Things are weird with a lot of actors, wrestlers, and stuff on those situations. It's really hard to figure out.
It also sucks because I feel like half of them aren't true about a lot, especially about wrestlers. Oh my god,
Well,
bad.
Yeah, it is. With all the women that Ric Flair has slept with,
Yeah, right.
Not being accused of something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing that boggles my mind. Like, and I'm sure you just gave someone a bright idea because they probably wanted to make a quick buck. I mean, although I think Ric Flair already took care of that by spending all of his money on booze.
I swear to God, if that happens.
I guarantee you though, he probably already took care of it, and she won't be getting a lick of dime because Ric Flair spent all of his money on booze for the boys. But you know,
on spilt liquor.
On spilt liquor, yeah. So I don't know, but like. The fact that all of a sudden, like, guys like Jay Lethal, Enzo, and, like, all these other people get accused all of a sudden now, and some of them, too, like, the nicest people in the world, especially in a case like Jay Lethal. Not Enzo, but definitely Jay Lethal. And then you look at a guy like Ric Flair, who has openly admitted on the network that he slept with an entire airport.
Airplanes and all?
Like when
he stuck airplanes in there?
He slept with like women attendants, like female flight attendants on an airplane. Straight up admitted that on the network, and no one's calling for his head. And I like get over yourself. If Ric Flair if you guys did that consensually, then you probably did it with Jay Lethal consensually. Just saying. Sorry. Like
Enzo.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened with Aziz Ansari. That girl tried to say that he assaulted her, and when she actually fessed up the story, they went on a date. They fooled around. She didn't have a good time, so she just decided to cry rape when it wasn't that at all.
Yeah,
it was just what she considered a less than satisfactory sexual experience. Okay, so Aziz Ansari's didn't take you to O-Town. So friggin' what? That's not rape, Like, I'm sorry Aziz Ansari didn't knock your socks off. But
I got a really stupid but a really great idea. This is what we're gonna do, guys, right? We're gonna have Enzo, Michael Elgin, and Jay Lethal, and a bunch of other people that have been accused in wrestling in a faction. We're gonna call them the accused. Not the convicted, but the accused. And then we'll just put Ric Flair as the mouthpiece and everything will be fine.
Ooh.
I'm done.
I'm done. Nope.
That's my best quote of the night.
There you go. I'm
Put
done.
it in your butt.
Not the appropriate time to say something after the joke I just made, sweetie. I'm just saying.
No, that was the point.
Yeah, there we go. We're all right. I see what you did there, then. Proud of you.
Proud of you.
Yay.
Y'all some weird people,
You love us.
Yep, I do. No homo, James. No homo.
Well, it can't be homo because I'm wearing socks.
Jesus Christ.
How does that change it?
To be honest with you, I don't know. My friend just started saying it, so I've just been kind of copying him.
Your friend's fucking weird.
All my friends are fucking weird, but they're funny. It's great. It's a great time.
No wonder you're my friend.
It can't be homo because you're wearing socks?
Yeah, I'll
ask around and see if that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing.
You guys...
If it's just socks, then yes, it's awkward.
Do you guys know about the big feet?
Where are you wearing the socks? That could be the game.
What are you wearing, James from State Farm?
Oh, see, that, no, it's still homo.
Khakis.
If your wing-dang poodle is exposed, then it's still homo.
But my feet aren't exposed. I'm wearing socks on my feet, and my feet aren't exposed. So you know what I mean. Anyway.
What are you, putting toes in asses or something? What the fuck is this?
Speaking of feet, did you guys know about that joke where, you know what they say about guys with big feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
They wear big socks.
Yeah, that's the anti-joke. The other joke is that, obviously, they're talking
about... And they, randomly stop texting Jenna and disappoint her verily. Kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, too.
We don't have to dox, because we already know who Jenna's talking about.
I don't, so I'm out of the loop.
You don't need to. It's fine.
I don't want to.
His name is not worth saying out loud anyway, because he is a POS.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait, I have another joke for you. Ready?
Good thing I'm not a piece of shit, even though some people have.
No, you're friggin' fantastic, Logan. I adore you.
I got a joke, and I know we're probably just shooting the shit on the show at this point already. But giraffe walks into a bar, starts lying on the bar ground. Guy goes to the bartender. He's like, "Hey, barkeep, what's that giraffe doing lying on the ground?" And he's like, "You idiot! That's not a lion. That's a giraffe." Get it? Because he said lion. Ha ha ha.
The bartender says, "Hey man, why the long face?"
You know what made me click on watching The Ranch was the one joke where Colt says something. The one guy says something about Tom Brady, and then his girlfriend gets pissed off about something else, and she says, "If you keep pissing me off, I'm gonna Tom Brady your balls."
I'm gonna Tom Brady. I mean, in fairness, I think that's what Tom Brady does a lot of in bed anyway. I mean, have you seen him? A lot of women want him.
I don't know. Tom Brady, have y'all seen that special he did? The whole little scene with his son? That was weird, man.
Oh yeah, Tom versus Time. Yeah, my dad even admitted that was pretty weird.
Like and I'm not one of those who hates the Patriots. Like I'll pull for him. I don't dislike Tom Brady. Like but that whole thing with his son was just peculiar to me. It was a bit much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could say the same thing about Titus O'Neil and his son.
No, jeez.
It's probably a little bit weirder.
Okay, Titus O'Neil, the pet kisses on the lips after a certain age are peculiar, but Titus's was just I love you, son, mwah, done. Okay, and the Tom Brady thing, Tom Brady was shirtless and getting a massage, laying on his back. Son, come here, and the son clearly didn't want to, and the son gave him a pet kiss on the lips, walked away, and Tom Brady said, that was bad, I want another one. And he actually kissed his son again and held it for a few seconds and then let him go.
That's weird.
That was what threw me off. Was like, with Titus, yes, peculiar, but if that's how they are, that's their relationship, because the son was not, Titus's son was not uncomfortable. It was I love you too, Dad, mwah, done. With Tom Brady, there was extenuating. The situation that they were in was already an uncomfortable one. The fact that the son is like 9 or 10 years old and now old enough to start having that bodily autonomy and was clearly not comfortable with it. The fact that the cameras were rolling probably added to that. The fact that he made it son anyway and said that was a crappy kiss, come back and give me more. Yeah. That was too much.
In other news, he just hide and wrecked his son.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
In other news, Tom Brady hide and wrecks his son. Oh god. Too much. On that note, I think we can call it that. Oof.
Yep, we can.
We're not going to sink any lower than that, Logan.
Oh, I had more anti-jokes.
Of course you did.
Yeah, we could just talk about them off air. Screw it.
Yeah, yes, we can. But guys, go ahead and I can't even think now. Go ahead and plug your stuff on all your social medias. Plug your stuff like Ric Flair did to all them women, and plug your stuff just like Enzo.
Plug it in the butt.
Go on and put it in your butt. Go on and put it in your butt.
If this video is copyrighted or something, I understand.
Can we copy strike PewDiePie's latest video?
Alright. Go ahead, Jenna. Ladies first, like always. Where can they check you out on your social medias?
Guys, check me out on YouTube. I am Jenna Lee of Jenna Lee's Beauty Slam, the home of lipstick, chick kicks, and general nerdery. I am the internet's girl next door, and just a real blasty blast to hang out with. So Jenna Lee's Beauty Slam on YouTube. On Twitter, I am Miss Jenna _Lee. Follow me for all kinds of chit chat, and I'm just fun. Just do it. Also, I'm Cute Cat Lady on Snapchat. Follow me. You never know what kind of weirdness I'm getting into, but I document a lot of it, and at the very least, you can laugh at me a whole lot. So do that too. Cute Cat Lady. Take it away, James.
You guys could check me out on YouTube. YouTube.com/user/JHebertside95. Join me in my road to 3,000K, even though I haven't posted anything in a while. Somehow I'm getting to 3K. You can also check me out on YouTube at Weymouth Youth Wrestling, which is youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. We've been talking about it on the show. I think you know what this is by now. And you can also check me out here on Future Entertainment, and also check me out on the Wrestling Rundown, which apparently I just got reinstated. I don't know how. So in the course of one show,
that's how we go.
In the course of one show, I was suspended from Owen's show because he didn't want me to cash in Money in the Bank. So now I am reinstated because I think he felt bad about what happened to me on the 3rd. But okay. Yeah. There you go, guys. Check me out. Wrestling Fortune 44 is where that show is, by the way.
Yes, please go check out both of these great channels, especially Jenna's, not James. He's an asshole.
Oh, thanks.
I see how it is.
And of course, you guys can always hear me on Future Entertainment Podcasts with these fine fellas, and every Saturday night on Saturday Night Myers with this beautiful stud muffin here, Logan. and a revolving door of guest stars who come and entertain us.
You called him a muffin. Is that a fat joke?
I'm a fat girl. No.
That's not a fat joke. I'd never take those things like that, James.
Especially when I said stud muffin.
I said no. It's it was the muffin part. I'm sorry. I had to make the joke.
Shut up, James. That's how we did it. You guys can check me out there right on Twitter at Logan Myers 144 and check out Logan Myers on Hibiki Pro's Twitter at Hibiki Logan. So please go view that right now and go look at the content of Travis from the Hibiki TMD podcast right there on YouTube. Go look at it right now and subscribe and enjoy.
Oh, real quick before we end, and checking out YouTube content is half the